What is up, mortals? It is Chara zor-el here, and before we get into today's video, there is something I'd like to say. I'd like to let you all know that we have a merch store. Some of the items in it are only available for a limited amount of time. So if you're interested, go into the description and check it out. Each purchase helps us make more content. Secondly, if this video hits 1,000 likes by the end of the week, we will continue this what if. Thirdly, if you didn't know, only 41.3% of you guys are subscribed to us, so please, hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the story. The announcement of All Might's death left people devastated. This news deeply affected everyone, especially the villains and heroes. But out of everyone in this world, Deku, by far, was the one that had it the worst. For Deku, a huge part of his life was stripped away from him. All Might was a father figure to him. Deku was currently in the hospital getting rest. He received treatment from many doctors. Many of them used their quirks to treat his injuries and did surgery on Deku's arms. While Deku was getting rehabilitated in the hospital, Recovery Girl often visited him to assist his treatment. Deku was in a deep coma and hasn't woken in days. He was in and out of the ER as everyone tried to help him in his recovery. Everyone saw Deku on the news. They watched him step into the battle and fought alongside All Might. A lot of people saw this as a brave and heroic act, but others, like the law enforcement, government officials, and professional heroes, thought it was foolish of him to get in All Might's fight. It was a huge controversy, as people debated it against each other to decide if Deku made the right choice or not, and if he should get punished for it. Ida and all of Class 1A dropped by to see Deku. They all worried for him, as the doctors delivered scary news. Your classmate, Izuku Midoriya, is currently in a deep coma. The doctor looked displeased as he saw the class look distressed. Will he be okay? Is he going to wake up? Ida was ashamed of himself. He failed his duty as class rep and let his classmates get harmed. We don't know for sure yet. We spent many days treating his arm and conducted many surgeries to help his recovery. The doctor felt stuck and didn't know if he should continue sharing more information. Will Deku be back with us? Uraraka was really worried. She hoped Deku would be awake again the next time they visited. Honestly, the damages are going to be permanent. When he fully recovers, he will be able to return to UA. However, I don't think the boy will be able to do hero work again. The doctor shows everyone Deku's x-rays and an image of the arm's anatomy. As you can see, Midoriya has shattered his entire right arm. He also tore a bunch of muscles in his left. Midoriya's nerves in his hands were destroyed, so he'll struggle with using them. When he's able to wake up, we'll have to put him through rehabilitation. The doctor told the students they would have to be patient, as it would take a bunch of days for Deku to recover. Bakugo was quiet the whole time. He just looked at Deku and felt pity. He just wanted to confront him after all of this mess. After the incident with Bakugo, Ida, Yaoyorozu, Todoroki, and Kirishima got in a little trouble when they brought him to the police. They got yelled at by Aizawa because of how reckless their operation was. They only received a warning if they did something as reckless in the future. Aizawa visited the students' homes to convince their parents to move in UA's dorms to keep them safe and supervise them. All the parents reluctantly agreed because of Aizawa's formal tone. They trusted him and UA to take care of their children. However, only one parent out of all refused, Inko Midoriya. She couldn't allow Deku to attend UA anymore. Her son was in the hospital again. And not only that, but she watched her son almost die on television. She couldn't let her baby be in such danger ever again. She let him continue to be a hero, but wanted to enroll Deku to a different school. Since All Might wasn't there to convince her, Aizawa had to give up and share this news to the UA faculty. While UA has their mess to handle, the heroes have to deal with the rise in crime rates. Villains started to come out of the shadows and wreak havoc on society. Many heroes were busy taking villains down as they struggled to do so. Without the symbol of peace, the heroes struggled to maintain themselves in society. Many people questioned their place in society as villains continued to wreak havoc and destroy peace in society. The villains were influenced under the League of Villains. They were inspired as the League grew stronger. They received publicity and popularity from villains everywhere because their mastermind sacrificed himself to take down All Might. Shigaraki and the League, in their new hideout, watched the news as they continued to talk about them. Shigaraki had mixed feelings about all of this. the growth of the League, the rise of the villains, and his master's death.
Little brat has to ruin everything! He killed my master. I must take my revenge.
Shigaraki was agitated after the news covered the fight between All Might and All for One.
That brat took my master away from me, and he's going to pay!
Shigaraki was enraged and was ready to set forth his next plan. Deku had a lot of attention on his back after everyone saw him fight All for One along with All Might. People blamed Deku for his death, and some thought he was a hero when he assisted All Might. These people didn't have the right to judge Midoriya, because they were too scared and only rely on All Might. Kirishima felt prideful as Class 1A argued with each other. Half of the class agreed that they didn't have the right to take action with hero business. They were only students, so they should obey the rules. The other half argued that they can't be true heroes if they sit there and let crime occur in front of them. If they could help and stop it, then they should seize the opportunity. Todoroki made the class quiet down. They were getting loud in Deku's room, and he needed to rest. Everyone left the room, except for Ida and Uraraka, who stayed behind.
Damn it! This is all my fault! I should have kept my eye on him and let Midoriya slip away from us!
Ida felt guilty for Deku's injuries. Ida punched the wall, creating a loud bang. It startled Uraraka, but she tried to comfort him. It's not your fault, Ida. You did the best you can. I'm sure Deku left for a good reason. Uraraka frowned and didn't know what else to say to comfort Ida. The two finished up with their business and left the room. The following day, Class 1A moved into UA's new dorms. The only one who wasn't there was Deku, as he still had to recover. Everyone in Class 1A were ready to enjoy their life in the dorms until Aizawa showed up in front of the doorsteps. He waited for them to show up. The class was confused, because it looked like he was ready to share some awful news. As you all know, Midoriya is currently recovering in the hospital. What we didn't tell you is that he will no longer attend UA. Aizawa wasn't joking. It was very serious. This news was very unfortunate. It made Aizawa himself feel terrible. The news was very shocking and left the class in disbelief. They couldn't understand why or believe what they were hearing. Aizawa further explained the reasons why Deku couldn't attend UA anymore and left everyone in despair. This certainly made Bakugo very pissed, and he was looking forward to seeing Deku again. He wanted to yell at him for being an idiot and wanted to know his relationship with All Might. Now, he'll never get the chance. The class wouldn't be the same without Deku. This information was critical and would definitely impact Class 1A. After the class's argument they had earlier in Deku's hospital room, Aizawa explained to them how they will get their provisional licenses and focus on doing so. This would solve all problems and ease tension on the students. Later that day, all of Class 1A toured each other's rooms to cheer themselves up. It was really embarrassing for most of them until they stumbled upon one empty room. It was supposed to be Deku's, but since he'll no longer attend UA, this information made the class feel depressed. As they finished up with the room tours, people decided to go to sleep. The rest stayed to mingle until they went to bed. During the middle of the night, Deku, who was laying in his hospital bed, finally woke up. Before we get back into the story, I would like to say that we've got a second channel called Anime Deep Dive. Anime Deep Dive goes over the hard facts of the anime presented. Now, in case you guys didn't know, we have a third channel called We the Celestial Naruto What If. We the Celestial Naruto What If mainly focuses on our Naruto What If series. If you are interested in content like this, please go check out the description below or click the eye icon at the top right corner. Now with that out of the way, let's get back to the story. Where am I? Oh. Everything hurts. Deku looked around the room and realized he was in a hospital. Deku went back to sleep so he could figure out what to do the following morning. Deku had a hard time sleeping and stayed awake for most of the time. At daybreak, Deku fell asleep as he grew tired. He woke up at 11 and stayed up until 7. Deku fell asleep, snoring this time, and when the doctor came in, he noticed this and woke Deku up again. Hey, Midoriya, are you awake? I apologize for ruining your slumber, but you've been sleeping for almost 3 weeks now. The doctor was glad to see Deku awake now. I was out for that long?! Deku was surprised to hear this, but felt his entire body aching. Now be careful there. Don't push yourself too hard. Your fight with All Might left you severely damaged. You were lucky to be alive. The word alive struck Deku hard, and remembered All Might's death. A tear fell from his eyes. He looked down and grieved over his death. The doctor noticed this and apologized for being insensitive. He tried to comfort Deku by telling him how brave he was. Deku wiped his tears away and asked the doctor what's going on. Despite your bravery, you've completely damaged your arms. Your legs are in good shape, however, like I warned you before. Breaking your arms again will lead to permanent damage. The doctor showed Deku his x-rays and gave the same explanation he did with Class 1A. Deku was stunned. He tried to move his hand by opening and closing them. He struggled and could barely move a finger. He was able to move around his arms, but he felt very sore. The doctor sympathized and proceeded to give Deku better news. Although you can no longer use your arms like normal, I believe we can help you recover. You just need to cooperate by resting here a little longer. If you're willing to let us do so, we can conduct surgery on your arms. After he heard this, Deku thought about this deeply. Deku started mumbling to himself the possibilities and outcomes if he agreed to do the surgery. You don't have to if you don't like it. It's your choice. I'll be leaving you here. The nurse will stop by and examine you. The doctor left through the door and had Deku really think about his life choices. Deku's soul searched within himself to decide if this would allow him to still be a hero. He thought about how he can use One for All now. Deku sat there for a while, until he had a surprise visit from his mom. Inko Midoriya was scared to visit her son, and couldn't bear to see her baby in pain. The two caught up with each other. Midoriya was in a better mood, and forgot about his grief for All Might. He couldn't let this bother him, so he had to move on. It was his turn to be the next symbol of peace, and it's now his responsibility. The nurse came in during Deku's chat with his mom. The two turned to see the nurse and stopped to allow the nurse to give an exam. Inko left the room and waited outside while the two began his examination. After a while, Inko came back in to tell Deku some shocking news. She feared how Deku would react. Hey, son, I have something to tell you. Inko looked serious and felt pretty down. What's the matter, Mom? Are you okay? Deku was confused and noticed his mom, who started to cry. Mom, why are you crying? Deku didn't know what to do as he continued to watch his mom sobbing in front of him. Inko hugged her son and accidentally hurt Deku. I'm sorry, son. Please forgive me. It's okay, Mom. Just take it easy. I'm still recovering. Deku misunderstood what his mom meant. He thought she was crying because her son was hurt and she accidentally hurt him with a hug. No, that's not what I meant. I'm sorry I haven't told you, but... Inko hesitated to tell him the truth. You're no longer attending UA. I hope you can understand. Ever since you were enrolled in UA, it was nothing but trouble for you. You had to face villains and you injured yourself way too much. My child shouldn't have to face that. Inko wept harder than before. Deku was in disbelief. He had mixed feelings of sorrow, anger, and acknowledged what his mom was trying to do. Deku didn't want to argue with his mom. He attempted to hug his mom back, but struggled with his injured arms. He tried to comfort his mom, and they sat there in silence. It's okay, Mom. You could stop crying now. I understand. And besides, All Might is dead. Without him... Deku couldn't finish his sentence. He felt empty. All Deku can do is hug his mom. He understood what she wanted. Inko stopped crying and said goodbye to her son. She let him rest and didn't want any further stress on her son. For Deku, he couldn't argue with his mom. Since All Might is gone, he didn't really have a good reason to be in UA. He still wanted to be a hero, so he would try to convince Inko later on. He also wanted to stay in UA as he was connected with Class 1A. He had made many friends and was a part of them. Deku also wanted to be around Bakugo and show him how he could be a hero. Deku wondered, what would happen next? He thought if he would have to attend another school or quit being a hero. There was no way he could do that. Deku would have just put All Might's gold to waste. He would put One for All to waste. There was no way he would let All Might down, as it was his turn to be the next symbol of peace. Thank you all for watching the video to the end. Now there are a few more things that I'd like to go over before our video ends. On behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank the writer for this video, as well as the editors for this video. Their details will be in the description. If you're a voice actor, editor, or writer, or you're interested in becoming one of those, go to the Discord that is in the description of this video and hit up the head of one of those areas. We're always looking for members to join us. That's it from us for today's video, so thank you all for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're interested, and hit that like button if you liked the video. Until next time, peace out, mortals. Have an amazing day.